Hi, my name is Dan Haight, Chief Operating Officer for Lorain County Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services. Today I'm going to be providing a 3 to 5 minute video conferencing overview for you. One of the first things we looked at when we looked into video conferencing was the state regulations. At the time, the state regulations were pretty new and were just coming out. Ohio's state regulations is Ohio Rule 3793 entitled Alcohol and Drug Treatment Services Provided by Interactive Video Conferencing. One of the things you want to look at and read into is some of the things you can and cannot do inside of video conferencing rules. One of the things we found out was that it limits our services to case management, individual counseling, and group counseling. And within group counseling, it only limits us to 6 clients, which is a ratio of 6 to 1. Some of the other state regulations that we looked at were security. The security must be 128-bit encryption. This is pretty standard and common among most all internet products nowadays, but it also made us look into another algorithm which is called Advanced Encryption Standard, or VPN, Virtual Private Networks. What this does is encrypts the information to and from the client and yourself utilizing a third-party application such as Nepsys, which we have been using. The next thing we looked at was the privacy concerns. What do we need to do in order to maintain privacy? One of the things you must first do is verify that the client is the actual one that is providing the service. Go back, privacy, take 2. One of the things we looked at with state regulations was the privacy concerns. We needed to ensure that our client's privacy was still intact while utilizing this technology. One of the things you need to ensure is that the client who signed up for the service can be verified by name and or password prior to providing the service. The next thing you must provide is the location. The client we have to know where the client is at all times. And this is basically because of the suicide hotline, police, and fire. Just in case something would happen, we need to know the actual physical location the client is currently at. And one of the last things you need to do is disclose who is in the room and ask who is there with them, so everybody knows who's on which side of the room and which side of the camera. Technology. On the video side of technology, when we talk about video, we talk about webcams. Most webcams, $20 and up, will work just fine with most products that are out there. What we've come to find out is that doctors prefer video cameras that can zoom in and out on clients. They utilize this to look at their facial expressions, look at the color of their skin, their eyes, stuff like that. But our doctors, provided through the Suboxone program, prefer video cameras to zoom in and out. LCADA purchased Polycom equipment, not just for the video conferencing aspect of it, but also for internal staff development. But we've also found out that Microsoft webcams or HP webcams are also just as good. And typically what we look for is the ones that can go to HD, and you can pick those up pretty much at any technology store for right around $50. The next thing we looked at was the audio side of things. We certainly quickly came to find out that the just regular conference phones are typically preferred by doctors and professionals. It allows us to call somebody, we know the number they're calling, and it allows for much better speakers. One of the things that we also looked into was PC microphones, which is of course the least expensive, and that's where the audio would travel actually across the internet, encrypted of course. And the last thing that we looked at was the headsets, where you have big ear muffs with the actual microphone coming out, similar to a operator style. This is actually preferred by our counselors who do one-on-one sessions, and this allows for all the outside noise to be canceled out while doing this. Looks good to me. LCADA has chosen Nepsys. Nepsys provides us with a secure website that we can go to, as you see here, with HTTPS, and over here, as you see, with the lock, in compliance with Ohio standards of 128-bit encryption. We also have a username and password for us to log into. Now, by logging in to the product, we come up with a lot of different options. One which allows us to do scheduling. Scheduling a conference is typically a 3-click process. As you can see here, we have a couple different conferences already set up in our system for our Suboxone program. And we'll go ahead and edit one of these and show you. When you get into the actual scheduling process, it's really easy. It's pretty much a topic, a password, an ID, which you can either show or unshow here in the URL, a date, a start time, and then of course a duration. Down here is where you would actually select and put in somebody's email address. For today's purposes, I'll leave that blank, but I'll show you here in a minute how we can get into that from the other end. So as I join a conference here, the first thing that'll come up when a client joins a conference or a customer, the first thing they're going to get is a security warning that allows them to install a quick application that will run on the internet here. As I don't think I mentioned before, but Nefsys also runs on Google Chrome, Firefox, and of course IE. Typically the download process takes about 1 to 2 minutes depending on internet speed. Once you have started your conference, you can see, as I have logged in already, that this is myself looking in through the host of the machine. And I've also have down here myself logged in on a laptop that's sitting next to me. The control panel here allows you to do different things, which helps with the security side. You can turn on and off everybody's video or audio within the settings of the machine here. Other things you can do, as you see up top, is share your desktop, create a PowerPoint presentation, share an application, share a web browser. And you also have a whiteboard here as well. The whiteboard has been used to, scratch out, do some art therapy. People have used it for things like that. The files and handouts here, this actually is just as it is. You can actually give somebody paperwork that you would give to somebody else in a group or an individual session. So it gives you a lot of different options here from Nefsys. One of the other things you might want to notice is that we can invite people several different ways. One is through email. The other one, obviously, through your contact list. Invite by phone and give them a conference ID, or you can invite them by a link. The link is usually the most preferable, and it's usually in conjunction with your email address. So it's one of the several ways you can invite somebody. As the host, and Nefsys here, you can do several different things in terms of video for your group. Right now I'm going to turn on the video from my webcam off of my laptop here to my right, and as you see, when I do that, we'll have a second box pop up here. One of the things you can do is create a video only mode on your PC so that you just see each other's videos and audio and hear the audio. But at any time you can also control this just by right clicking on the person's audio or video and stopping their video. So automatically take them back and kick them out of the actual application. The other thing is also the unmute or unmute the audio. So if somebody is talking more than somebody else, or you want to mute them for the benefit of the group, you certainly can do that as well. And again, the biggest thing you always want to make sure is the fact that you have the security on and the security is there. So you can see down here, it'll actually tell you what security you're running. As you can see down here in the bottom right, it does say AES 128 encryption, which is a standard here in Ohio.